Hey gang, Professor Feeser here, and today we're going to check out running a GitHub workflow, specifically GitHub leaks, but what we are interested in is making sure that nobody can commit to our main or default branch unless some checks pass, specifically checks through a pull request. So where I'm at is a repository in my account. It's github.com/RZFeeser/simple Flask service. I'll put it down in the comments. But this is a public repository. And if you do come out here, go ahead and hit star up in the corner. After you've hit star, you can go ahead and click on workflows. This is how GitHub controls its pipelining, GitHub workflowing. They're made up of things called actions. So we see two files here. One's called docker build and publish.yml or YAML. One's called prgitleaks.yaml. If we look at prgitleaks.yaml, we can see that the triggers that make it run are a pull request or a workflow dispatch, which is a button press. On a button press or pull request, what will happen is the GitLeaks tool will run inside of an Ubuntu container. Our code will be copied into that container, and that's actually where the GitLeaks tool is configured to run. You can copy and paste this exactly as written into your projects, and it will just work. There's no special configuration for that. There's another workflow back here, docker build and push. If we look at that, we can see that this particular workflow you can trigger with a button press. But also it's looking for specifically a push to main only. And paths it's going to ignore if the push to main is a README or a configuration change in the workflow directory, which is .github directory. It's going to ignore that and not perform a build. The build is ultimately a push, containerization of the code and push up to GitHub container registry, which we're not actually talking about in this video, but that's what that file does. Now, to prevent people from actually writing code to just directly to main, you have to go into settings, and then you can come down to branches. And if you set up some branch rules, you can check this box, require a pull request before merging. So I'm saying, yeah, on the main branch, the only way you can make a change is through a pull request. Now, by default, admins and owners can override that rule, but anybody you add to your repository is going to have to work through a PR. So I have that set up. Let's go out to code. GitLeaks specifically scans for passwords, tokens, things that may have been left behind inadvertently. So I'm going to add file, create a new file, and I'm going to put here just a random access token. I'm going to call this password.json. And it says I want to commit to main, but notice when I commit changes, if I try to commit to main, it says, hey, you're an admin, so we'll let you do this, but you're going to be bypassing rules in order to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to push to a new branch, RZFeeser patch 1 proposed change. Here is the pull request that I'm suggesting that be created. Now, that'll always happen. We'll always see, okay, can we actually do this merge? But now, only one of my workflows is going to run. And that workflow is specifically GitLeaks, because that only runs on pull requests. And I don't have any restrictions on that. I'm having it scan everything. Uh-oh, some checks were not successful. Now, notice it's finding that password that I wrote into there. If you go in and look at it, it will describe that inside of details here. Right, so it says, hey, I found a leak. This access token redacted. It doesn't want to continue the problem, but it is squealing on me. It's saying I made that commit, and am at fault. Notice I can still merge pull requests. That means I could still bypass this particular check and infect main. If you don't want that to happen, you just go back into settings. You can come down to branches. You go back into rules and you just check require status checks to pass before merging. You then search for the particular step or action that you want to make sure passes. So in this case, GitLeaks has to pass in order for a merge to be legal. If I hit save on that, that instantly becomes valid. So if I go look at that pull request, you can actually see no longer can I merge pull request. Merging is blocked due to failing merge requirements. Pretty cool. There you go. That's how you can protect your default branch, at least from being infected by password and secret leaks using GitHub Workflows. If you like this video, I am available for training events. You can find all my contact information down in the comments. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode of Code with Feeser.